And now I'd like to invite Morgan Wilson up to say a few words about his mom.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to share a few thoughts and memories of my mother, Claire Wilson. And thank you, Mark, for pointing out messy emotions. There might be some choking up here at some point, so bear with me. One of her friends told me that there were three major foci in Claire's life: family, this community, and her professional life. Of course, she engaged with other people and activities outside of these three, but these were the big ones. In this community, singing in the choir was first and foremost. It was her motivation for joining. And you had daycare for us kids. It was perfect. A distant second, but nonetheless important, she loved the rummage sale. For decades, she helped prep during the week, and I'm not sure what she did during the sale. Maybe she was on the floor. But in her later years, she was a fixture in the row of cashiers. And she would request the 10 items or less position. I think she thought it would be easier, less stressful. Mom, the people in that line are in a hurry. They have curtailed their shopping so that they can get out of here. Just a few more points on UU Wellesley. She helped with Rosie's Place and another shelter in Waltham. Interviewees couldn't remember the name. Perhaps you'll enlighten us at fellowship hour. In the 80s, she stood out here on Washington Street with 1 or 2 dozen others, but not with Black Lives Matter back then. It was something like Ban the Bomb. Now, I think Ban the Bomb is actually an older slogan. It was, Moms Against Madness, or some sort of call for sanity with nuclear weapons. Sometime around the early to mid-70s, she and 3 or 4 other moms did the Guys and Dolls number, Take Back Your Mink. I believe this launched the pledge season, as they did. As an adolescent, I was mortified. But now, with middle-aged, adult perspective, I think they did a fantastic job. She also learned through this community of 2 other choral groups, the Berkshire Choral Society and Singing a New Song. With Berkshire, she sang with them 15 to 18 years, I think, from the early 80s to close to 2000. And Sharing a New Song, she went with them for several weeks one summer to the USSR, visiting 3 or 4 countries. And this was before the Iron Curtain had come down. And another summer, I don't know if it was a year or 2 later, they went to China, again, for several weeks. She was not religious. She wanted choir, community, and some social action. UU Wellesley was a good fit for her predilections. The 4th principle tells us, we believe that each person must be free to search for what is true and right in life, and that fit her to a T. I think she was an atheist in her heart, but she wouldn't don that moniker. She didn't want to be pinned down. When I pressed her on the subject, I think she said something like, well, if I have to pick a word, I guess I'll say I'm an agnostic. Like her parents before her, She donated her body to medical science. I am proud of her for this, and I will do similar if I can. She did not like being the center of attention. She would be very pleased that I'm speaking to the congregation today, but she would not be pleased that she is the subject. She loved singing in the choir, but she would not sing a solo. She was adamant that she would not be given a memorial service. When asked why by a good friend and separately by a family member, she said she didn't like them. Yet she went to almost every service in the community. She was a major player in the organization for the service for Margaret Fitzwilliam. I don't know if she spoke, I'm guessing not. In her waning years, she asked me to drive her to and attend with her the services for Nancy McLaren, Carol Phillips, and John Kaufman. It doesn't seem to me like she didn't like memorial services. I think she didn't want people talking about her behind her back. Or if she is listening, she didn't want people talking about her like she isn't in the room and can't rebut or refute anything said. One final piece of evidence. A nightmare scenario for her that never came to pass, but she described it many times. Having your car break down in the middle of the Sumner Tunnel during rush hour. She loved this community, and this community loved her right back. She will be missed, but our memories will shine undimmed and true. At Fellowship Hour, please let us know if you have a memory to share, or some kind words, or some constructive criticism, which Claire doled out on a regular basis.